like take the Uptown specific plan, for example. We have people who operate businesses in Uptown in that area. We have people who live in that area. Wouldn't it be, couldn't we save money just by putting together a committee of those people because they know the area the best, better than a consultant ever could, and have them develop a plan?
Right. So that's like also then that's like using other entities that aren't associated with the city, right? Which is why I joined
The public-private partnership
right,
idea.
Which is why I joined the Uptown Whittier Improvement Association, and I became part of the District Identity and Streetscape Improvement Committee because that's my jam. I wanted to improve the streets. The rhetoric there was that people are going to come to Uptown Whittier because your business is good, not because the streets are clean. Okay, well,
you got to attract them first.
Yeah, people aren't going to stay in Uptown Whittier if they don't feel safe and if it's not clean. People may come to your place because, yeah, I want to try this new restaurant, or yeah, I saw some really cute clothes here. But people aren't wanting to stay and check out everything else if they don't feel safe walking across the street.
And that's an interesting thing because that was an issue back when I was growing up too. So and I see people and they posted online that this Uptown was safe before this, and it's only in the last couple of years that people have started feeling unsafe. No, it was like that back in the 80s. I mean, there were some safety factors there where people feel. I mean, it was safer then compared to now.
Right.
But we still had issues back then, and we were able to find a way to mitigate those issues.
Right. I'm not claiming that electing me will solve all of these problems. Like I've said, there's only so much you can do in 2 years. I think in 6 years you can accomplish so much more. But I mean, safety will always be an issue. Yes. It always will be. But we can make improvements to, like, lighting, say for instance, LED lighting that's more cost effective, right? We can, look at even our current structure, give it a little bit of TLC, the one that we already have that people don't use. Yes. TLC, tender love and care, you know what I mean? Like a new paint job and higher safety restrictions or safety capabilities.
But we used to have a bike patrol.
Well, yeah, so now we have ambassadors, which don't do anything. It's a complete waste of money, and you know who's paying for that is the Uptown Whittier Improvement Association. So what they do is they are not security directors or anything like that. Although they are hired from a security company, these are ambassadors that are just either going to walk you to your car if you need to, or they'll tell you, okay, you're looking for a restaurant, it's over there. You're looking for a store, it's over there. That's not, again, that's a private entity. That's not, City of Whittier. But if you want to make decisions about those groups, join those groups. Be known of that. Make yourself know that information. I was speaking to a group the other day, and they were saying that, man, we should have a group of community members. I'm like, yeah, that's a great thing. I agree. But why do we need a specific group of community members when you can vote, when you can elect someone to represent the community at large? And that's really important to me, which is why I am door knocking, getting people out to vote. There are so many people who feel that their votes don't count. But in a city of over 80,000, we have 47,000 people that are registered to vote, and only 8,515 people voted in our last city election. Joe Vinatieri got 5,999 votes. Raquel McLeod got 1,234 votes. I believe Rolando Cano got 866 votes. And Leon Savage got 222 votes.
That's true.
Yeah. So all of that, you guys can totally fact check that data on the City of Whittier's past election results. But how can a city of 80,000, only 6,000 elected the leader? And it's because not enough people felt empowered to come out and vote and support.
My next thing I wanted to ask you about, and I didn't get to, because I was talking to Kano yesterday, so many things I didn't get to it. Based on, because I'm throwing out these numbers here, the statistics that I got from District 1, but the turnout for District 1, just for the poll alone, is pretty low. And historically, in the elections, even after we adopted districts, it remained low. We're actually predicting a low turnout for District 1 this year. As a candidate, and if you're elected as mayor, how would you address that? How would you increase the turnout? Not just in District 1, but in other parts of Whittier also.
Right. Well, there should have been a voting center closer to District 1. The closest voting center, I believe, is down the street, down Painter, down Pickering. So we need to have voting be more accessible in those areas, first of all. Second of all, one really great thing that I've noticed with District 1 candidates is that they are knocking on doors of disenfranchised people.
Yes.
Um,
It's
it's
something I notice, and what I like about them is that at least two of them were born at Presbyterian just like we were, and they grew up and they were born here. They grew up here just like us, and they're heavily committed to they love their community just like we do.
mhm. Yeah, and so that's a great thing. That's another part of the passion. One really great thing is I've noticed is that we don't have your typical politicians running for office. Okay, we don't. Like, do I normally wear a blazer and high heels to a park? I don't. But there's an idea that you need to look a certain way to be taken seriously. Specifically, being a woman, being Latina, being in my 20s, people will say that I don't have any experience, right?
I got a lot of that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, do you think that any of our current leaders had experience before they were on the city council?
No, they just had a friend or two that helped. They decided, well, I want somebody on there, so I'm gonna put you on there.
Exactly. So, yes, people will say that I'm not experienced. And then, flip side, people will say, oh, she's been groomed to do this her whole life. No, I haven't been groomed to do this my whole life. The only reason why I show up in a blazer is because I know no one will take me seriously if I don't wear a blazer.
It's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Well, that's just the struggle. That is the struggle. And so it's on me to door knock in those communities and be
It's
like,
how you react to it
right.
that matters most, rather than what
Yes.
happens to you. It's how do you respond to what happens to you.
Right. And how do I respond to that is I talk to people. I need to go out and talk to the community. Because the only way that you get better is by learning, by listening, by talking to people. So this is a real grassroots campaign. Like, I'm not sending out thousands of dollars of mailers because I don't have that money, right? I'm not making backdoor deals with senators or whatever to get that money. Um, this is not easy. It's not easy to run for office, and you know that, having done it several times.
Yes, it's very difficult if you come from art, because I'm assuming we came from similar backgrounds. It's very hard for people that are raised with our backgrounds to even run. I mean, I have to give credit because with Andrew Rubel, I did have some issues with him, but I kept an open mind with him. And I went to the forum last night. I was working during the other forum, so I wasn't able to go to those. But based on what I saw last night, it's like he left me. He did a pretty good job on that forum. I mean, I don't know if he went to the other ones, but last night he was better prepared than either of his opponents were.
Mhm. Yeah. So.
And he's really putting a lot into it.
Andrew is really working incredibly hard, and that's something that I respect for sure. I respect everybody who's doing this because it is incredibly. It's not only mentally hard; it's emotionally, spiritually, sometimes even physically hard. But you just gotta get stronger. That's the only way to do it, and that's why I haven't quit, because you can't quit. I've already put myself so on the line for my community. I just need my community to come out and vote.
And this will be the end of part 5.
Thank you. I
Okay,
actually
and
have to
then-
get going to work pretty soon.